We're just like everyone else in the auditorium. And we're not wizards, and we're not unicorns, right? We're just a team. And we're a team that is passionate about what we do. And we are tenacious, and we have vision. And with all of that, we created Nimbus. Now, Nimbus is our tool to fully automate infrastructure provisioning. And really, what is that? That's cloud, right? IT has marketed the crap out of that, and that's what it is. And I am honored today to really share with you our journey that we took to really push IT transformation. And keep in mind, I'm not a sales guy, right? So I don't use that T word lightly, but I'm really proud to say we've really transformed how we operate. So let's give you a little introduction to who I am. So my name's Eric Engel. You can find me on LinkedIn. And I graduated from Central Michigan in a specialization of infrastructure automation. So all of this was very near and dear to my heart. And to give you a little idea on how Michigander I am, yeah, you know where this is going. So I grew up and went to school about right here. And in 2010, I moved down here and joined Consumers Energy. So I joined as an engineer, and our CIO came to me about a year later, and she asked, Eric, do you want to join our leadership team? And of course, like a true engineer, I said, with all due respect, I'm an engineer, and I love to build things. And I want to get real work done, right? What a fool, right? But in 2014, I learned kind of a spiritual career journey. I learned that leadership is in my DNA. I can't help myself. And there is nothing I love more than building great teams, good culture, and really seeing what they can deliver. So, Consumers Energy, right? Since you're not really Michigan natives, or many of you may not be, we are in a utility, right? Not really known for being leaders in IT innovation, but we're a utility, and we are critical to Michigan. We are Michigan's largest utility, and we power data centers, hospitals, police stations, and residents, and we are fiercely committed to the state of Michigan. So an important part of our journey is all of this started with problems, right? None of it was, what is cloud? Let's put in cloud. It all started with problems. We're very inefficient. Every single year, we look at hiring contractors. And these contractors are literally the equivalent of modern-day factory workers. These poor guys and gals sit in their office all day, build Windows servers, build Linux servers, install databases, right? How can we improve quality? When you're following a 12-step document and you're building servers every single day, you're human. Mistakes happen, right? And when mistakes happen, your environment becomes operationally unstable. And that's just unacceptable nowadays. And how do you add greater visibility to costs? We had a habitual issue where we would give stuff away for free. And until we really started looking at that, we always wondered, why do we have budget crises at the end of the year? Why are we running out of capacity and now we have to scramble? And how do we fix that? So an important part of our journey was we were trying to solve problems, not put in technology. And we needed a visualization to that problem so we could share and so we could rally behind it. And the visualization is this, right? A whiteboard that lists out how do you build a database server. And that is a product of IT evolution. 15, 20 years of IT evolution. Teams grow, splits apart, creates handoffs. You put in new tools and new solutions, that creates additional processes. And at the end of all of that, you have 17 days at Consumers Energy to hand off a SQL or database server to our application team. So if you're an application person and you're really trying to get going, how do you feel if we say, okay, I'll talk to you in 3 weeks? And how do we solve that problem? So in 2014, at the very end of it, we did a proof of concept. Because vendors will tell you, you can buy this, you can put it in, you can click a button, and it'll build you a server. Yeah, it might, but that's not what makes our IT infrastructure. And that's not how we operationally run it. We run it with backup tools, monitoring tools, IPAM tools. That's what runs our IT infrastructure, not building a Windows server. And in 2015, we made a conscious decision. We're not going to pay an Accenture $5 million or a Deloitte. This is our future. Infrastructure development is our future. And we need to build this. We need to learn this. But we can't do it alone. We brought in a head to help guide us because this is new to us. And how we built this team is we decided we need people that know software development and traditional software development, and we need people that understand infrastructure, network, authentication, Windows, Linux, databases. We need all of that. So let's hire a few people from both. Let's lock them in a room for about 8 months. And at the end of that, though, you get an amazing team that loves to write code and understands infrastructure. So let's talk about a little cloud science, real cloud science, right? Because we have marketing clouds and elastic clouds and data clouds. Well, in 2014, our project was a Cumulus cloud. Simple, light, non-threatening. We thought, well, we'll gather some requirements, we'll write some code, and 4 months later, we'll have a product. Well, working with the head and really vetting out what we need to do, later that year, we were a full-blown Cumulus Nimbus cloud. And what that came from was questions of, what are these policies, and I hate that word, but what are these policies that we need to define to really drive decisions? How critical is that application? Does it need DR? And how do we make it simple for the people using our tool to do that easily? And then we had the question, gone are the days where we can buy infrastructure, and then we can wait a month for it to come in from the factory. And then we can spend another few weeks setting it up, and then we can start spinning stuff up, right? We need a footprint now. So those questions came, and we stood up teams to solve it. But what it started with, really, is understanding what we do. And that is critical to doing this. So what we have here, that's Windows on Windows. So what we did is we looked at all of our processes, and they had to work with the team. Now, a little secret is we didn't have a business analyst that understood infrastructure. So I'd go to our poor development team. I said, guys, you're going to hate me, but I need you to spend a few months and understand all of this. So I don't know if you've ever seen what happens to a development team when you force them into business architecture or a business analyst role, but it's not pretty. But they got the job done, and they mapped it out, and they finally understood what we really had to solve. Because you can't have a tool that just spins it up and has gaps. It has to be end-to-end to really get the value you're looking for. So, July, we started development, and all that anxiety and all that frustration of doing requirement gathering went away, and they were happy as a clam. They started working away. And in August, we chose VCE to be our platform for this private cloud of ours. And then in March, after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, we launched Nimbus. We announced to our company and we announced to our IT department, this is the tool that we have built. This is for you. This is not an infrastructure tool. This is for you. And your feedback and how you use it is critical to our success as an entire company. Because our infrastructure and your ability to really deliver what our business needs will make or break our company. And that is why this is so critical. And marketing. So where did Nimbus came from? The team decided that. And that's the only name that our lawyers would let us pick from the whole list that's not trademarked. Yeah, that's the real truth of it, right? And but it's funny the perception that gives, right? It's the difference between this is our IT infrastructure and this is your VM. And the perception that this is the tool we have, you click, you're done. You buy, you build, you do what you need, and we're out of your way. And the important message to the organization, too, is infrastructure is not going to say, we're not helping you anymore, good luck. We're saying, this is the tool for you. We're here if you need our help, but you get what you need to get done, and you let us know how we can help. And that is a drastic transformation in not only culture, but perception. So let's talk about what value we got from it. So like I talked in our poor modern IT factory worker job, you make mistakes. Systems don't go in backup. Systems go on the wrong cluster. You have licensing issues, right? Well, because of this and because the decisions are driven via automation, you have zero human defects from that automation. And let's look at the delivery. It used to take us 48 hours to deliver a simple Windows server. Now, our employees aren't sloths, right? They're not slowly clicking on the keyboard to build that Windows server. I send a ticket to the network team because I need a new VLAN. Or I send a ticket to the backup team because I need this backed up and they're on the right profile. Or I send it to the access team because I need specific access groups. That's what takes the 48 hours. And what our tool does is it automates every single bit of that. And the value we got from that is we deliver it in 54 minutes consistently, every single time, done right. From a database standpoint, that took us 136 hours for the exact same reasons. It's now 1 hour and 50 minutes exactly every single time. And it's really enjoyable to tell an application person, when can I get it? 1 hour, 50 minutes. There you go. So let's talk about the process. And this really gets down to transformation, right? Transformation is not technology. Transformation is a combination of technology, culture, perception, and process. So if you look at this, we have our Suave app guy right there, right? And he says, I need a server. And like many of our big corporate environments, you need to talk to the demand management office first, right? Well, there is nothing more depressing than that when you're trying to get something done. And once you get to the demand management office and you can actually get someone's time, now we have to figure out what you need and what licenses you need. And now we have to hand it off to our builder. And he needs to hand it off to other teams. And then you need to get some access. And at the end of that 17 days, our poor Suave app guy is probably not pretty happy. And neither is the business he's trying to build stuff for. Our new transformed process, they buy what they need to buy. We have some cost controls, so their leadership needs to approve that spend. But then after they approve that spend, they build whatever they need in that space. And that's the current process we have to try to make it as painless as possible so they don't have to keep going back for purchasing approvals. You forecast what you need to buy, we'll help you size it if you need it, and you build, build, build. You do what you need to do, and we'll get out of your way. So let's talk about how it really works, right? Nimbus is a brand, and it's our future. But how it really works, VMware vRealize is our front end, Puppet for a lot of the operating system work, Orchestrator for a lot of the integrations, Git to hold all the code and pull it all together. And really how this runs is tens of thousands of lines of process and code that we have developed to execute process. And then the integration, which is really what makes it work, right? And that's what you don't get out of the box. The integration to every single tool that you need to really operationally run your business. So what's the final product? It's a portal, right? And the goal is keep it as simple as you can. Don't add a bunch of options. Try to figure out what you can derive from simple decisions. How critical is it? Simple decisions that they'll understand. And from that, you build your simple portal, and you let them do what they need to do. So where are we taking it next? Hybrid cloud is our future. I'm a big believer that we spend a lot of time refreshing hardware, and that's a lot of time that our teams could do better things. So in the future, we'll be connecting with public cloud providers and then letting the business, we're not competing with them, right? We're going to let the workload and we'll let the business decide what's best for that workload. Application blueprints. Today we deliver servers. That's not what they need, right? People need applications. If you need BI, we'll deliver BI. Storm boost. So Consumers Energy has a slogan. When Mother Nature's hits, we hit back. So when you think about the utility business, when storms come in, our folks are up on the poles trying to restore power to critical functions. And in the future, our infrastructure will do the same thing, and we'll be right with them. When storms roll in, our systems will grow to meet the need of our business, dispatchers, folks in the field, as well as our customers trying to report outages and see outages. Network virtualization, another great time to market improvement, and then reactive healing. So if you think about operational issues, you get an alert from a monitoring tool, raises a priority 1 ticket, right? A team will get to it within 15 minutes or so, depending on what they're designed to do. They'll log in, try to figure it out, and even if it's just a service down, right? You're probably looking at 20 to 30 minutes to fix that. What Nimbus will do in the future is it'll see that ticket, it'll log into that server, it'll fix that issue or that service, and then it'll let our operations team know, hey, I fixed this, it's great, but you might want to look into why that happened. And those are just a few of the features that we are going to build as we go through this transformational journey over the next 3 to 5 years to really flush out what we need to do for our business partners.